life. We got London on the track. Nigga, horses don't stop, they keep going. Yeah, you can lose your life, but it gon' keep going. Why not risk life when it's gon' keep going? Yeah, when you die, somebody else was born, but at least we got to say we ran on the digit, we ran on the money, we ran on the digit, we ran on that money, we ran on the digit, we ran on.
What's up, guys? Welcome to show number 74. As always, thank you so much for rocking with me these first 73 shows. By now, you know where to find me. If you go to SoundCloud, Stitcher, as well as iTunes, search for Trill Withers, the show will come up. Do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe there so that the show will come to you every week. Also, got the email address if there's anything you want to shoot me. That's trillwitherspodcast@gmail.com. Also got the website, that's lookingupfromthefloor.wordpress.com. All right, for today's show, got my man Arian Foster on. This came about, he tweeted some things about Young Thug that I wasn't too fond of. So I had to ask him about that. We get into that. We talk about the best, worst part of playing in the NFL. We talk about the power of perspective and some talent, luck, hard work. We talk about, if he's got any fears of being Jordan face, crying Jordan face. We talk about a lot. Really enjoyed this one. I think you all will too. So the next voices you'll be hearing are myself and my man Arian Foster.
Yo.
What's up, man?
What's happening?
Not too much. How you living?
Can't complain. Shout out here, man.
Yeah, Arian Foster here. Want to thank you for joining us, sir.
I appreciate you, man. It's all good.
First things first, I got to know why you hate Young Thug. I need some answers.
No, hate is such a strong word.
That's why I used it. I need answers. I need answers for why you hate God's gift to rap music, Young Thug.
Nah, it's not hate at all, man, for sure. It's just, I don't understand it. It's like not my, I don't know, you feel like you get older, like I don't really blame it on age, because I like some of the new stuff that's coming out, but it's like, when we was younger, and you hear, like, our parents used to say, what is that? What the hell are they listening to?
Right, yeah.
Like, that's what I feel like now. Like, I don't understand it, and it's just not for me. So, like, it's like I said earlier, man, it's like, I appreciate anybody who's willing to put their art out for the people to criticize, man. So I got a lot of love for anybody that does that. So it ain't hate. It's just I don't understand it, and it's not for me.
What was like the tipping point? I saw you tweeted out the song that Kanye tweeted, which when I first seen you say you wasn't feeling Young Thug, and I was like, well, what did you listen to? That was actually one of the songs I was going to send you. Like, if you ain't heard this, listen to this. This will change your mind.
Yeah, man, that's the first. Honestly, that's the first song that I've ever heard all the way through of his.
Oh my God!
I usually change it. It's just not my cup of tea, man. Like, I grew up listening to like funk and soul and like instrumentation, like real like chord progressions and stuff like that. So like this kind of like rap, it don't really register. Like I don't really understand it. Like and plus like I'm a writer, so. I really enjoy lyrics. Like I love when people really put thought into what they're saying and song concepts and that kind of stuff is the stuff I listen to. Like I understand the whole turn up movement. I get it. Like go to the club and think. I get that. But from that aspect, I guess I just grew up around like the Young Jeezys and like stuff like that, to where it was ignorant, but it was still powerful as far as like. I don't know, man. It just hits me a little different. So
see, I was holding my chest. I thought you were gonna say like you liked real hip hop, and you was gonna like say some shit like Immortal Technique or.
I mess with them too, man. Like I go with that too. It's just I look at hip hop like it's the only genre that has subgenres. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I love it so much. So it used to be regional. That's what I love about hip hop. It used to be regional, so it's like you had Southern rap, and you had West Coast, and East Coast, and like now, like the internet's kind of branched out, and lingo is just spread all over the place. And I guess that's where the disconnect comes from, because my generation was more on like where you came from was how you
sounded.
Yeah, how you sounded.
Yeah,
it's really not like that anymore. Which I'm not saying is a bad thing. It's just I'm not used to the new wave of like young kids that's making music It's like it just don't make any sense to me. Like it's kind of like I love jazz, right? But I don't like free jazz. If you ever heard free jazz, it just sounds like a whole bunch of racket. But if you really understand those artists, like they really know what they're doing. And so like it's not for me. I don't like free jazz. So I kind of liken it to free jazz, man, where they're expressing themselves, and I'm all for that, man. That's what art is for. Like, I don't hate nobody, like, cause I got so much love for music. So that's all it is, man.
I was gonna ask how you feel, cause I'm kind of undecided. Like sometimes it's nice to hear aspects of like a Future talking about he rapping over DJ Mustard. Like sometimes it's nice, but sometimes I just want to hear like Future rapping over Atlanta shit. I don't like Cali can have their shit, New York can have their shit. I just want to hear Atlanta shit over Atlanta shit, or New Orleans shit over New Orleans shit.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like, there's only a certain amount of artists that can like transcend their region, honestly. Mm-hmm. And those are the ones that we talk about on a broader scale of being like legends. Like I don't say legends, but like just like people that push the culture. You know what I mean? That kind of carry the game. Like right now, it's kind of like Drake kind of has the game. You know what I mean? And he's one of those people that can just do whatever. I feel like there's few artists that could do that, but like when certain artists come and kind of stay in their lane and develop a style, that's where I feel like that comes from. Like,
True.
I just like, I don't know, man. It's just a weird sound to me, man. Which is not bad, man. It's
just different.
It's just different.
I was just, you said you like some of the young cats. So who are some of the young cats you listen to?
Let's see here, man. Well, see, I don't even know if they consider young now. Cause I do mess with Drake. I love J. Cole. Man, I'm an old head, like, as far as music is concerned. Shoot, drop some names, man, because I'm so out the loop nowadays.
I'm trying to see. I feel like I've been on my kick now. I'm just listening to like young Atlanta niggas, like 17, 18 years old. That's what I'm listening to now. So like some people that came up like under Young Thug. So if you think Young Thug's new, nigga, these are the newest.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I was gonna say, like, if you don't like Thug, you got to think like he's parenting this style now. These kids are not necessarily like imitating him, but you can definitely hear the Thug influence.
Man, that's heavy, man.
You're not fucking with it, I can tell, and that's okay. And that's okay.
It's not really that, because I'm all for like young black men like doing whatever they got to do to get up out of their circumstance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all for that, man. So like for me to sit here and say it's fucking up the culture, would be like, I would never do that, because like I know how hard it is coming from those circumstances. So like whatever you have to do to get up out of that. But I would just say, like, just watch who's watching you, because I mean, not to get too Black Lives Matter on you, but like,
nah, go right ahead, please.
But like, I just feel like you know, as young black men, our superheroes are our athletes and our entertainers, and so you have a powerful influence on where our next generation is gonna go, and that's why I feel this music is just kind of not resonating with me, because like my foundation was I grew up loving Pac, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, he had his ignorant music where he was shooting and drugging and all of that.
Hennessy and Enemies and all that.
Yeah, Hennessy and Enemies. But what he stood for and the cultural impact he had in our communities transcended any kind of defaults he had as an artist, in my opinion. And that's what we kind of fell in love with. We fell in love with what he stood for. Right. And I feel like that was my foundation in music, and it's always been like that. Our voices in this country as black men have been our musicians and our athletes. We've always made political statements like that, and so I just feel like if you're gonna do that, come about it, and you have an audience and people are listening to you, you just gotta. I feel like you have some kind of responsibility to be cognizant of your message.
Yeah, I feel that. So not to say that anybody's a modern day Parker, that there would or could be one. Do you feel that way about anybody now, or anybody approaching that level, like Kendrick or anybody else? Or
right, I feel like I think as adults we're not as easily influenced. Mm-hmm. But I definitely feel like Kendrick is one of those cats who kind of did away with the whole facade of money and females and all of that kind of in his music, and he's kind of going towards like self-love and coming back to that whole Black Power movement that got us up out of the civil rights. And that's a fine line too, because you still have to keep your audience, and not everybody is on that level of deep thinking.
Right.
Like some people just want to turn on music and just feel good. You just want to make feel good music. So like I understand why artists sometimes just make that crackerjack music, because they have to keep their lights on, and the music industry's dying anyway because of the internet.
Right.
So like I get it. So that's why I always watch what I say about artists, and it's hard over 140 characters. But I try to always show love because I understand how hard the business aspect of that is.
That's one thing. So you said it was like, I agree 100%. You said our athletes and our musicians, rappers mostly, are the ones that influence our young black kids, men and women. So as an athlete, do you feel like that responsibility? You feel like it's a burden or, something you enjoy? Like, how do you feel about it?
Right. It's really not just, to kind of double back, it's not just our young, black youth. Honestly, athletes and entertainers in our genres are really, we move the entire culture. Yeah. Like, I see it all the time. Like, if you see like ESPN or just anything, you see the way McDonald's is always marketing towards black people.
Right.
Just really, like, advertising in general is going towards being urban is cool, being street is cool, and that's what they're marketing towards because we move culture. Yeah. We always have and we always will because of, like I said, I don't want to get too deep on it, but like,
no, man, go right ahead, man.
They stole our culture and we developed our own, and we developed our own style, and that's why I love Jay-Z. A lot of people hate Jay-Z, but I love Jay-Z, man, because he kind of alludes to that. It's like all the suburban white kids, like, they want to be like us. I just think it's important for like. So you asked if it's a burden, not to me, because I used to play the role as far as like being who I thought the public wanted me to be. Like, and I feel like athletes feel that pressure a lot because you want to get endorsements, you want to do the right thing, you don't want to get in trouble with the owner of your club and stuff like that. Right. You want to say the right things. I used to play that role very well, and but as I started growing in my career, and you see the nasty side of the media, and I just stopped caring. And so like these last like 4 years, I've just kind of been myself, and that's been way more freeing. And I found that real people, respect that more, and you get a more positive feedback, especially young kids, man. I've had kids come up to me all the time and say, man, I like how you keep it real in the media or whatever. And it's not even about keeping it real; it's just about being yourself, man. Right. Like, whatever that may be, and it's a fine line they gotta walk, especially if you're trying to get like a big contract to feed your family. Like, I get it. Like, sometimes you gotta play the game, and it's like just like any kid. Like, if you're coming out of college, like you gotta wear a suit and tie to the interview you want to get a job for. Like, I get it, you have to play the game, right? But it's not really that. It doesn't bother me at all because I just being myself has been one of the most freeing things ever. But it's hard to do in this especially in this game in the NFL. It's such a media washed industry.
So you said 3 or 4 years. I guess what was like the turning point? Like, what happened to where you was like, I'd rather just be myself rather than what they think that I should be?
Yeah, I got into some legal trouble, man. I'm pretty sure you heard about it. I can't talk about it legally. Yeah. But it was on TMZ and all of that stuff, and it's just when you see the humans, or when you see, because like, and that's why I'm kind of careful about who I like joke on and stuff like that publicly, because I've been on the other side of that, and like it's entertainment to a certain point, but then when you see your name in those headlines, everything just changes. Or when you see somebody else's name in those headlines, right? So like when my boy Ray Rice went through all of that stuff, right? So like it was just tough for me to see him go through that because I know dude and I know his family, and like he's a good man, and like he's had a very bad moment in the public eye, and in the public eye, like it's just you get crucified, man. So it was kind of like around that time where I was like, you know what, like who am I doing this for? You know what I'm saying? Like why am I pretending to be something I'm not? Because I'm not. Like, I'm not. I am. Like, I can be well spoken. I can be this. I can be that. But that's not where I come from. That's not what I want to represent. And then after a while, it starts draining on you because it's not you. And so you really just have to have a talk with yourself. And I did, man. And finally, I did. And the media hated me for it. But I was really short with them. And I told them why. I said I don't like y'all. I just don't. They just like to sell blood and they don't like the mirror, so they don't like to hear the bad stuff that they cause in people's lives. Like, it's just stories to them, but like this actually affects people. You know what I'm saying? My mother calling me crying and stuff like that because it's something she read on the internet or whatever, and I'm like, man, that really affects people. And once I saw that, I kind of changed my tone a little bit.
I guess that's always what I want. Like, as far as Twitter, like that, I would say it probably helps you show the real you, because you just, you're a man with a phone. You're just tweeting your thoughts like anybody else. But you feel like it hurts you as well?
Twitter, no, not Twitter. Twitter kind of helped.
Or say, would you help like build that bond rather, like between the people that are willing to accept just you as you? Yeah,
that's the cool. I think that's the cool shit about Twitter is it really helps you find like-minded people, right? So just like you, I started following you just on the strength of something I saw retweeted in my timeline once, and I just kind of read through your timeline. It's a funny cat, so like I just followed you out of nowhere. And you was probably like, "What the hell?" But
that's exactly how it was.
Yeah. No, I mean I do that, man, because like I don't know, like I'm just a regular cat. I just happen to be good at football. Like that's how I viewed it. Like I don't see me as no better, no worse, but like. I find people like that all the time that like I really enjoy thoroughly as human beings, and I've connected with people, and it's just it's a dope tool. Like you're always gonna have like media who love that Captain America on their sports team, who just love you always say the right things, you always do the right things, but like I don't trust people like that, man, because it's like, like we're humans, man. Like what people don't have dirt, like what people don't like. If you really get angry, you say fuck, like it happens.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like people just expect us to be like these cookie cutouts of citizens, man. I don't like that, man. And once I finally kind of came into my own and understood that, man, like a lot, I got a lot. Like I said, I got a lot of positive feedback. Like I ain't on no commercials, but like I'm okay with losing $1 for rather than not being myself all the time, because I've done that and it just wasn't for me, man.
All right, next thing I wanted to talk about, I just want to get your opinion. Like, what's the best and worst part of playing in NFL? And I don't mean like the best part, like again, like the Captain America answers, the camaraderie of the guys in the locker room and smelling the grass on Sunday, like no shit like that. Like what's the part that you enjoy the most?
I guess it's kind of twofold, man. The part that I love the most is the fact that people don't really look at it like this, right? So I think it's why it's easy to dismiss the work ethic of athletes. But how I always looked at it was I had a single life goal, and it started when I was 7 years old, right? So when I was 7 years old, I told my mother I was going to play in the NFL. And, she probably laughed or, go ahead, honey, you can do your thing. And then now she's retired, right? I retired her. And I think that's the best part to me was I set out to do something when I was 7 years old. So that's over 20 years of focusing on one single goal. And to me, that's extremely gratifying as a man. Is to say I set out to do something and I did it. It's something I can hang my hat on, and I can tell my kids that, like, man, your dad, when he was young, he set his mind to do something, and he did it. And he did it under the worst circumstances you can come under in this country, like one of the worst. They won't ever have to see that, but
right.
And I guess that's the second part is like you get to live out your dream while being able to help those around you via family or community projects, and really helping underprivileged people that don't get the opportunity that you have, but you really get to lend a hand and help them, financially or mentorship or something like that.
Okay, so on the flip side, what's the worst part? Or the part that, I don't know, took the most getting used to, the part you don't really look forward to?
Honestly, man, I would say, and I'm not like a super recognizable face like that. But like I do get recognized every city I go, and I appreciate the love from fans like 100%, man, because they help us make the sport possible, by being interested in what we do. But I just hate fame, dog. Like it's
yeah.
not, like I don't like it at all. Like, cause I'm the type of cat. It's like I'm really personable. So like I like going to the cash register for checking out on my groceries, and I like joking with the person that's checking out my groceries, just having fun, putting a smile on some stranger's face. And and a lot of the times I can't do that because people are kind of, I don't know, it's a weird, like, they get like awestruck, like, oh, hey, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Right? Can we not?
Yeah, because like the crazy is like I don't even care like that. Like I don't like I never once have said, yo, I play in the NFL. Like I've seen it, cats do that, but I just think it's corny. But like I have never done that, and I don't like that. Like, I wish I was just like a CEO of some tech company and nobody knew who I was, but still had the same amount of money. That'd be cool.
That's the dream.
That's the dream, man. I just don't like fame. Fame isn't for me.
So let me ask you, what was the first? I don't really know how any other way. Like, what's the first like niggery purchase you made when you got like the big money, like the blackest, like just like this is just for me. Like I got mom's a house, I got a car to get me from A to B, but this is some shit for me.
I still ain't made it, man.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm dead ass. Like I don't. I'm just not into shit. Like I hate cars. Like it took me. I didn't buy a car until my 6th year in the NFL, and the only reason why I got it was because my business manager was like, "Dog, you need a car." I was driving around in some truck that was given to me from some dealership that I just had to pay the insurance on. I don't like cars like that. I don't like clothes like that. I haven't really bought anything. There is a chain I bought, but that was relatively cheap. I guess that's it. It's a chain. It was last year too. So maybe that was it. But it wasn't like super expensive. Like I don't know.
All right, I was waiting. It's like, man, I got me and the whole family grills. I got my grandma a grill. I got my great uncle a grill. The whole family got grills. But man, okay.
I'm like deathly like afraid of being broke, bro. Like I can't.
Yeah.
Like I grew up in like broke, so like I never want to go back there. So like I'm just afraid of spending money, man. I still don't feel like it's mine. It's still like a dream to me that like I'm a millionaire. It still hasn't really hit me because like I don't spend any money. Like I just chill, man. It's not. I don't know. I'm scared of being broke.
That's real though. That's okay. So let me ask you. It's something that I usually ask people. So of you're a successful person. Of your success, from your success, of these 3 things, what would you attribute it the most to? Talent, luck, and hard work.
I gotta pick one of them.
Yeah, I mean, they all play a portion, of course, but of those 3, which one would you say is the most critical to your success? Talent, luck, or hard work?
Of those 3, if I had to pick one, I mean, all 3 of them come into play,
right?
When you're dealing with success or what your version of success is, but I would say hard work, and I would say that because being lucky, like sometimes you're just in the right place at the right time. Like you really can't control those circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Talent, I've seen so many talented cats, not just even in football, man. In any sport I've seen, in any business venture I've seen, like the really brilliant cats. Like I've seen people trick that off because they don't work at their craft, and they feel like it's just gonna be given to them
because they have that talent.
Yeah, because that talent, they kind of rely and depend on that as a crutch. And the reason why I say hard work is because like I'm a walking example, dog. I came in the league undrafted where nobody expected me to do anything. And I just worked my ass off to the point where my mindset was, I'm going to make you play me. Like, talking to my coaches, like, I'm going to make you play me. Like, you're not going to have a choice. You're going to look at the roster and say, man, we're going to lose a job if we don't put this dude on the field. And, like, I feel like that's the mindset people should take. Of those 3, like, bar none. Because it's really the only thing you can control, honestly, man. And it's all about what you can control. Like, you can control how hard you work. You can't control upper management. You can't control whatever circumstance life deals with. You can't control any of that. The only thing you can control is, like, what you put into it.
Right. That's, like, the more people I ask, that's more the answer I get. And I don't like that shit. Like, I don't like that shit one bit. Like, I was talking to my father about this, and he was like, he's like, I knew you'd pick luck because I knew you'd pick the one that took it out of your hands. And I wanted to fight him. I wanted to run his fade, but he was right. He was right because he said hard work. You said hard work. A number of other people said hard work. And it's seeming like you said, that's the one you can control. You control how hard you work. You don't control any of that. You don't control the talent you was born with. You don't control any of that luck, but you can control how hard you work.
And I feel like if you could work hard enough to be as talented, and talent is like it's an iffy word to me because like I feel like people like I've heard people like tell me before like, oh, you're just so talented. And I'm like, man, no the fuck I'm not. Like I just like granted there are some things that I was born with, other people in my position didn't have like my vision. I feel like it's my best attribute as a running back. Like, I feel like I have pretty good vision. I see a lot of cats struggle with seeing the hole. But like, man, I was like 12 years old, like running hills, man. Like I remember vividly, like cats wanted to go play, or dudes wanted to go out in high school after school, and I'm like, man, I gotta run. Like I was fortunate to have a father who put a game plan in front of me to get me to that next level. But like it was just, it's talent, but it's like a lot of harnessing your craft. Like after a while, like those reps start to add up, and and that vision becomes second nature because you've seen it so much and done it so much. So it's like it's hard for me to just give talent the word talent now. Like some cats, like yeah, man, like they're just born to do what they do, but like it's a lot of work, man.
Right. That's what like an example that usually comes up with that is like LeBron James. I do feel like LeBron James was born supremely talented, phenomenal athlete and all that. But LeBron James has probably worked his ass off again since he was probably like 11 years old.
Exactly.
With stuff that we don't see. Yeah.
He works hard as hell, man.
Yeah, like he's smart as hell. Like they talk about how smart he is, what kind of memory he's got, how he remember plays from like 6 years ago. Like he can tell you who was standing where like 6 years ago. And that comes from hard working, but you don't see that. You see him take off from the free throw line and just say talent.
It's part of that ESPN machine, man. They just they sell the highlights, and it kind of takes away from the fundamentals of the game.
All right, next thing. This is something I was going to ask you something along these lines, but we did receive a question that I did want to read, just get your take on it. And the question is, first off, as a native Houstonian, I want to say thanks to Arian for all the memories. It's going to be tough for me to see him in a different jersey next season, but I wish him all the best. I know he's dealt with a lot of adversity in his career, going from undrafted, dealing with serious injuries. I was wondering how he manages to stay positive and motivated during times of uncertainty and doubt.
I would say perspective. I think you always have to keep a perspective of where you're at in your life, and I don't know if you're born with it or not, because I had it as a real young kid. Like even though we was going through what we was going through, like financially growing up, like, I was privy to the knowledge of third world countries, so I always kept it in mind. Like, yeah, I might not have any food tonight, but like those kids haven't ate for months or a week or however long, you know what I mean? And so I don't know if anybody can survive for a month without food, but like in my head,
hypothetically speaking, yeah.
Hypothetically. So like that always kept me going as a kid. It's like no matter how bad you have it, somebody always has it worse. And as far as like the NFL career, it's frustrating for sure. Like, but like I gotta keep it in perspective, man. Like I'm still doing what I love to do, and like are injuries frustrating? Yeah, man. Is like pretty much all of my injuries I've ever had is something that I really can't control. It's a soft tissue injury, or an Achilles or something like that. Like I've played through so much stuff that you'll never hear about in the news because I have a high threshold for pain. But it's a frustrating thing. But it's like, what can I do to control it? Like I really can't do anything. I can do as much injury prevention training as I can, and just hope for the best, man. Some things is just out of our hands. And as long as you keep that perspective, man, like I'm not, and no disrespect to anybody working a 9 to 5, but I just that could be a frustrating thing. Like I can only imagine like getting up every single day, going to a job that you don't like, and working for somebody that you don't like, and dealing with customers that are assholes and like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's whack as hell.
But it's like the average. Or it's an everyday thing for a lot of Americans and a lot of people across this world, and I don't have to do that. And that's the perspective, and that's not to shit on anybody at all, man.
Right.
It's just how I get through what I get through. It's tough, but it's like things could be way worse, man. Like to me, this is the greatest country on earth, man. And I was fortunate enough to be born here and have an opportunity to go from the ghettos to live in the suburbs within my generation, and I had complete control over that. Like it's just a beautiful thing to me. So it's hard for me not to be happy, because I think what another thing is, like one of my best friends, man, he's from Uganda, and he's from Africa. And he grew up and he came over here when he was 12 years old, but he grew up in civil wars and genocide. And he used to have to walk 5 miles a day for water, just for clean water for his village. That's super extreme, but like that's some people's reality.
I'll say that's real life for people every single day.
So it's hard for me to say, man, I'm injured, life sucks, God hates me, whatever. Like it's not a real thing because it's like, dog, you're in the NFL. Like this is a
right.
life. Like let's just keep grinding. Like all right, that's how I felt like when I first got cut by Houston. Like back in 2009. Like I wasn't like disappointed like that. I was like, all right, like they're gonna give me a chance on the practice squad. Like let's make the best of it, man. I get a pretty good check to be on the practice squad, man. Let's go be happy. You know, I had a daughter on the way, all of that, man. Like it's just then you get the first injury, then the second injury, whatever. Like let's just grind through it. Then I just got cut by them again. All right, man. Like what's the next journey? Like let's just keep grinding through it. Like it's just not. It's hard for me not to be a happy human being because I got so much to be thankful for. Like I love living life. It's like it's the funnest shit ever. I'm healthy, like relatively speaking. Like I'm not in life threatening stuff, and neither is none of my family members at this point. Like, and so I'm just grateful for all of that.
Yeah. Perspective that like it's so crucial, but you don't really like you don't know that you lacked it until you get it.
Exactly.
Like you don't know what you're missing out until you're like, well, damn, this kid, like you said, your man in Uganda. I had somebody I went to college with that grew up in, I believe it was Bosnia. And she was telling me about like her and her little sister used to play around like old landmines. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like I really ain't got shit to complain about. I ain't never played, like I had like a bike stolen or some shit, but I wasn't playing around like no, yeah, but I'm playing around no landmines like for my life walking to school. So I really don't have anything to complain about.
Yeah, it's real life, man. I was watching something about I believe it's Iraq. I don't want to get the country wrong, but it was some country in the Middle East where that we fly drones over there all the time, right? And when the drones come, we drop bombs. And some little kid was saying they did an interview that he likes gray skies now. He loves clouds and he loves bad weather because he said the drones don't come.
Wow.
It's bad weather. And I was like, that's just a terrible
wow.
life to, you know what I'm saying? And granted, like, whatever his people in his country are doing some really bad stuff, he don't have anything to do with that. He's just like he don't know nothing about nothing, but he's just faced with that reality every day that sometimes drones come over and bombs drop. Like, right. That's crazy.
It is, yeah. That's something like you and I would probably never even think about. Nah. And that's just a way of life for him. And lots of people like him.
Yeah, that's why you gotta keep that perspective, man. Like no matter what circumstance you're in, there's always somebody that's facing some real life shit, and you gotta. To me, it's like disrespectful if you get. I mean, everybody gets in a funk, man. I'm not saying that don't be human, but like to me, it just gets to the point where like if people are constantly, and I have these conversations with people sometimes, like man, like you constantly complaining about the life you're in. It's low key disrespectful to people who are going through real shit. Mm-hmm. Like it's disrespectful. Like enjoy the privileges you have, especially in this country, man. It's a privilege.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. Somebody was tweeting something like just about just like getting old and stuff, and I was like, that's real. Like as trash as I may think it is now. Like imagine how trash it is if you got to go to dialysis 4 times a week, or you in a wheelchair, you can't control like your bodily functions, things like that. So it's another case. Like, man, I really ain't got shit to complain about.
Nah, man. I always be telling my mom because she's 50. She's probably gonna kill me for this, but she's like 55, 54, 55, and she's still dyeing her hair. And I'm like, what are you doing, man? Like, she's like, I'm not ready for all this gray. And I'm like, Ma, getting old is one of the most beautiful things in the world to me, man. Like, yeah. I just find so much beauty in it. Like, I hate like plastic surgery and all of that stuff. I hate when I see Hollywood actors do that, right?
Yeah.
So like they'll go get plastic because they got to stay young for the roles that they want or whatever. Like it's just a sad world that some of our best actors have to do that in the first place. Mm. But like I don't know, there's so much beauty in getting old to me, man. That it just I always tell all the time, like man, let that shit come out. Like gray is beautiful, man. It breaks that.
I would say, yeah, I'm kind of like that's really one of the things I'm looking forward to. Like just a little salt and pepper in the hair. Like just a touch, just a dash of it.
See, as black people too, man, we age well though.
Yeah.
So like, I'm kind of looking for like I look at my pops now. My pops, he's probably like 55, 56. He's still pulling them, man.
That's real life though.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
Like that. I saw some pictures of my pops when he was probably like my age, and I was like, okay, like he basically looks the same. I was like, so okay. Like the face I have, I've looked 30 since I was 16, but I'm gonna look 30 when I'm 62. Like that's the trade off, and I feel like it's a long con game.
Just stay 30, man.
Yeah, just be 30 from like 2001 up to 2056.
That's a win.
Right now, we'll get into a few questions. One is one that I had. I was wondering your thoughts on Ben Simmons. You follow like college basketball?
I don't, man.
Okay, do you know who Ben Simmons is?
I don't.
Jesus Christ, man. All right, Ben Simmons.
I'm not a fan of the NCAA, man. So I don't
see, that's why I think you'd like Ben Simmons.
Okay, cool.
Ben Simmons he's a basketball player. He went to LSU. He's projected to be like, number 1 or number 2 pick in the draft. Yeah.
Okay.
And so basically what he did, his godfather coaches at LSU. That's the only reason he went there, like an elite 5-star talent going to LSU to play ball. He didn't make the grades to qualify for like the Wooden Award, like the college basketball player of the year. And after their season was over, they didn't make the tournament. They didn't make the NIT. He just withdrew from school. He moved to Arizona and just started training because he was like, what's the point, man? What am I going to finish this year for in this communications degree? Like, who are we kidding here? And that's why I was wondering, because I know, you spoke out on the NCAA before, and he's pretty much saying like who are we kidding here? Who gives a fuck, really?
I like it. I mean, I did something similar. I went undrafted, but like I had a shitty senior year, and I think there was like 3 or 4 weeks left in school for that semester. I just left because. Like, what's the point? I wasn't trying to pursue a degree at that time. I don't know. I feel like that's you'll see more and more kids do that because they'll start smartening up. If that's a word, they'll start just getting hip to the game because the NCAA is just a huge game, man. And
yeah,
it's all about control and it's all about they like to attack people's characters, man, and it's they're the biggest crooks in this country right now, and they're still stealing.
That's why I love Simmons so much because he was like I've got the power, like I'm the talent. Mm-hmm. I got the power here. If I want to leave, who's gonna stop me?
Exactly.
What are y'all gonna do?
Nothing, and they can't do anything, and so that's why I haven't even heard anything because I don't watch ESPN or anything either. But like they've been smearing his name or no. Oh
yeah, you already know.
That's crazy.
You already know the red, like this man, like he averaged, crazy numbers. Again, he would have probably been the player of the year, but he didn't make the grades or whatever. And again, why would he? Right. But now it's coming up with red flags. If you can't count on him now, how can I count on him?
No, that's crazy.
In the NBA and all this.
They like to flip that, but like the funny shit is like that's not a character flaw
at all.
Like you can flip that. That's a man who has a passion for basketball, right? So it's like,
right. If anything, that's a strength to me.
It's a strength. So he's like, man, why am I wasting my time finishing up this semester when I can go harness my skills to be a better NBA player for your organization? It's not a character flaw.
Right. If anything, like if I had him number 2 or 3, I'd be like, I like his decision making. Like I got to jump him up the draft board.
I like it, man. I mean, they like to. They like to do that to kids. They like to assassinate characters, man, because they don't, like I was saying earlier, they don't fit that cookie cutter mold of what they want upstanding role model to be, man. But like that's not who people are, like, and it's not even who they want them to be either. Like,
right?
You don't give a shit about if there's any cat that's playing in the NCAA right now as a 4.0, but he's not good at basketball. Like you don't care about him. Like,
right.
Carmichael. What's that comedian? What's his dude's name?
Carmichael.
Jeremiah Carmichael. I think it's Jeremiah. I forget. He had one of the funniest things ever. He said morals are more. He said talent is more important than morals.
That's real though.
It is a deep concept. Like he was joking, but he wasn't joking. And that's the truth, because like if you look at all like the bad shit that like athletes have done like in the media, and then they go and they win. Nobody cares about that anymore.
That's all they care.
To see an athlete be a good student.
Right.
You're paying to see him go play basketball, man. Why do I care what his grades are? I don't. You shouldn't either.
Right. He clearly doesn't, and I love that he is embracing that. Like he didn't finish the semester. I know like a lot of folks, like they'll ask you, finish the semester, for the team GPA or whatever. And Simmons like, I feel like I did enough. Like I feel like me scoring 25 a night, I feel like I did enough for the team.
And he did more than enough because he got you a lot of national games broadcasted probably.
Absolutely.
That which brought more attention to your program, which will probably get you more recruits. It will probably get you better looks in the future. Like that's why I think there's such a business aspect to the NCAA shit that they just turn a blind eye to, and then they try to demonize kids for making business decisions when this entire year that you had him, he's been making bad business decisions they've been making bad business decisions by him. You know what I'm
right.
saying? And they don't ever like to attribute the athlete to a businessman.
That's
why do I care? I've never asked my chef like how he plays basketball. I don't care.
Right, it's not my business.
You cook my steak. Like, why do you care how your basketball player fills out a math test? Like, it's not like
right.
what he wants to do with his life. Why would we care?
That's like sports is like the weird shit. Sports is really like the only place where people will side with like the billionaire over the millionaire. Like if you told somebody the same shit in your office setting, like nobody would be like, well, damn man, why don't you listen to your boss? Everybody will side with you, except for sports. Everybody sides with either the NCAA or the team or the NFL or like whatever it is. They always side against like the person most similar to them, and I don't get it.
It's because it's the black athlete, man. Like it's just called, like we gotta call a spade a spade. Like there's a certain level of people don't want to address like a lot of the problems in this country, man.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the problems in this country are still it's racist at its core.
Absolutely.
You can see it with Donald Trump right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like an open invitation to be racist
right
now. Whereas they were suppressing it for all those years. But it all kind of coincides. Like you don't want your black athletes. You don't want your athletes talking in a certain way. In a certain way, like they just won't have it because those are still Anglo institutions.
Right.
Like they just are. The NCAA, the NFL, the NBA. Those are all businesses run by white men.
Right.
And you don't want, like they want to keep a certain brand name and all of this. It's a really deep problem in America, man, that this country is still racist and still struggling from the racism that brought our people to this country in the first place. And it's like I always tell people, like, because I hear it all the time. A lot of white folks say, well, you got to get over it. That was so long ago. or I didn't do it. So like, don't blame me for something my ancestors did, which I get both of those. I really do, man. But like, you can ask any clinical psychologist, ask anyone, and they say, ask them if is domestic violence, will that affect at least one or two generations of a kid's life or family?
Mm-hmm.
Say absolutely. Well, slavery in this country was for over 300 years. Like, you don't think there's any psychological effects that are trickling down our bloodline? Like,
absolutely.
It's a real thing. And not only that, the privileged position that you talk about all the time, what white privilege is and what it isn't, and people still feel like that there is no white privilege in this country. And this is like I said, we can get super deep, Black Lives Matter, but I guess it's like a deep problem in this country, and it's very prevalent in our sports and our entertainment.
Absolutely, you see it. I mean, I feel like a case comes every once in a while, but like when any type of athlete, I know most recently it was Cardale Jones. I think he had tweeted something about Black Lives Matter, and if you just look through his mentions, people like just play football. I'm not a fan anymore. He was just saying Black Lives Matter. Like, what is it about those words that make you feel this type of way, or is it those words? What is it you really feel?
And that's exactly the problem, man. It's like Black lives do matter, and then it was just like, well, all lives matter. Well, that's cool, but like, why can't we have our why can't we have our pride, our sense of pride?
Exactly.
What does me saying Black Lives Matter have anything to do with white lives or red lives or yellow lives? It has nothing to do with that. All I'm doing is taking this pride with me and my people. There's nothing wrong with that, man. Like it's like if you look, who was it? I forget what president said it, but it was back in the day, 60s. I want to say Nixon. I could be wrong, but they did a study on how much the black dollar in black community circulates in the community. I think it's like 1/100th of a cent or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like so, like there's not a lot of pride in our communities, right? And it's because every time that they're, first of all, it's segregation. That's a whole nother conversation. But it's every time we have like some kind of pride or some kind of rally, like or some kind of outcry, they degrade it.
Absolutely.
All lives matter. Like cool, but like so like this is something that we've been struggling with for years.
Right.
People are still hung from trees in the South. It don't get a lot of publicity, but it's a real thing. Like it's something that we're still trying to find identity in ourselves and our culture because we were taken from our land. Like people act like that's an old song and beating a dead horse, but it's a real problem.
Absolutely.
Our kids don't have any foundation because they don't know where they're from. Like I told you, my buddy that's from Africa, like he has such a sense of like family and foundation because that's what he grew up with in his culture in his village, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he comes here and he doesn't understand the black folks here. Like it's hard for him to understand that because he knows where he's from. Like he really don't. And like, I hate to take it that deep, man, but it really is like when you break it down in its intricacy.
Absolutely. Because it's like nobody else. There's no issue with anybody. Like a white person can say, you know, they take pride in their family being from Ireland or Scotland, anything like that. A Mexican family can be proud of their families from Mexico. And it's like you take black pride. Where y'all from? Georgia?
Yeah.
Exactly. Virginia? Like, huh? Like think about that.
It's kind of scary, man. I mean, honestly. And like that's why it bothers me when any type of like black pride or anything like that kind of trying to comes about and people just like downplay it. Like I'm all for it, man. Like I don't know if you saw, like I used to wear those like Rest in Peace Mike Brown t-shirts, and it wasn't necessarily about the act. It was just about me showing solidarity to people that I don't know, but like I understand the struggle. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, it's just like I feel like I believe in, like I said, our athletes being our voice and our entertainers being our voice. So like you kind of have a little bit of an obligation. So what did you get like a lot of backlash or people act like, hey man, maybe you should take that off or cover that up or? Yeah, of course, but I don't really care. Right. At that point, that's when my shift happened. Like me not like stopping, like stop really giving a fuck what people thought about me. Right. That doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Yeah. Like my man said all the time. He says, man, all that matters is the first 2 rows of your funeral, man. The rest is just go, man. That's real life. All right, another question somebody had asked. Somebody said, was coming out as an atheist a big thing to do? They said they're from the United Kingdom. It was no stigma there. And then I guess like a follow up to that, somebody asked, what role do you think religion plays in the NFL? That's a good one. What role do I think religion plays in the NFL? I don't think it plays a very big role necessarily. I think that it's heavily influenced by the Christian doctrine. Like I've never been a part of a team that doesn't say the Our Father before the game or something like that. Like in the huddle. Or not in the huddle, in like before like pre-games. Yeah, it's heavily influenced because I couldn't tell you why, but it just is. I've always separated it though. I've never attributed one with the other. I know a lot of people do, especially in the South, but I've never personally attributed like them or really just thought about them together like that. I'm saying the other part I said, I guess was coming out as an atheist a big thing to do. Like they take a lot of thinking. Yeah, being an atheist takes a lot of thinking in general. True. It's not like I just woke up one day like, you know what, there's no God. That's not right. Eureka. Eureka. through like years of reading things, years of talking to people, years of doing my own study, man. I'm talking about 15, 20 years of really delving into the topic of religion. And so I always do my due diligence on everything, or I try to. It was a big thing as far as like publicly, and I usually don't do anything publicly. I don't really care like that. But I think the reason why I did it was because what influenced me to come out was Bill Maher. And I kind of had that eureka moment. Was
Religious?
Yeah, that was a hella hilarious movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed them.
But I had a moment where I was like, you know what? Like, if somebody who I admire did a video that said they were atheists, it might be easier for somebody who's kind of holding it in, whether it be pressure from their family or pressure from anything, because there's a lot of people who don't really subscribe to religion or a God. But they kind of just play the part because of social pressure. Right. And I felt like once I told my family, and my family's super open, so they kind of thought it anyway because I always had so many questions. But once I told them, they were all really accepting. Nobody really cared. They were just happy that I was happy, but it was just like a burden that had been lifted off my shoulders. And like I said, like once you're actually yourself and you're walking your walk. It's a freeing thing. There's a freedom that comes with it, and so I feel like the more people are free with themselves, the happier society will be. And on a small scale, I feel like I affected some people. I got a lot of those messages, man, saying like, "You helped me come out to my family. I appreciate you having that strength, whatever." Because it's a tough thing when your entire family is brought up a certain way. And it's not for you. It's like something about it just doesn't sit right. I felt like your whole family was listening to Young Thug and you just couldn't get with it. Come on, man. Now I never seen them in the same place at the same time. I mean, neither have I, to be fair. You see what I'm saying? So, but I'm playing. Probably why I don't like Oh man. Nah, but yeah, man, I got a lot of positive views. I mean, of course, I got the I'm going to hell in a handbasket. Sure. But I probably already was anyway, so it's all good. See, I feel like that goes to, something we was talking about off the air. Like, you get to a point where you're not afraid to miss out on things. Definitely not, man. Like, whether it's that, whether it's music, whether it's a party, like, once you get to a point where it's like, I'm just fine not being in the know on everything, and if I'm wrong or if I miss out, I'm good. I'm good with that. Yeah, man, that's how I feel, man. It's like if I've had this thought plenty of times, like, man, okay, if there is a God, right, and there's and he's like weird enough to have a judgment day, right? Right. So I'm standing at the pearly gates, and he asked me why I didn't believe in him. I'm like, my God, like, you gave me like no evidence. Like, it was just a lot of testimonies. Everybody has a testimony. Like, oh, God doesn't reveal himself until you give yourself to him. And I'm like, well, it's kind of backwards. I said, that seems counterproductive. Yeah, it's like, I mean, like, so what about the people who really like need to see evidence of something to believe in it? Like, you made those people, so you had to know there was going to be some kind of like people trying to buck the system. I just feel like if there is a judgment day or whatever, I just feel like you can't like look a person in his eye, or a spirit in his eyes if they have spirits, in his third eye, and like condemn that spirit to eternity in hell because he just had a lot of questions. Like, I just don't, like, that's just the most illogical thing ever to me. And if it is like that, so be it, man. Like, then we gonna party, man. I was gonna say, at the very least, if you go to hell, you're gonna be in good company. You would figure. A whole bunch of cool people. Though. I would say, like, hell, like, not even, like, no pun intended. Hell should be lit. Like, it should be, like, yeah, no pun intended, but yeah, like, it should be lit. It's gonna be great company. Gandhi gonna be down there. Gandhi. I just feel like I want to go, like, wherever Twitter is. Like, if I can tweet in heaven, let me in. If I can't, Max gonna be down there. That's why I'm trying to, like, live next door to, like, Malcolm X. Yeah, I'd be cool with that. Yeah, I'd be just fine with that. Hell's a funny place, man. Because you figure out the while, it's like I can't burn forever because like I'll get numb to the pain after a while.
Right.
So after a while, it's just the norm. So then it's just like I'm not sure.
That's what like it just go up like 2 degrees every 4 days. It goes up 2 degrees, so you're never comfortable.
The laws of physics in hell. I don't even know how that would work, man. Like I don't even know like the philosophy of it, right? So like if like you go to heaven because you appeased God, right? And it's a blissful place. But like I don't understand why the devil would punish you for executing his will or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he rewards you,
right.
That makes more sense to me.
I don't know. I feel like it was like a game of telephone. Like somebody tell you one thing, it's a different thing at the end. Like somebody said it was like a hot tub in hell, and by the time it got around, somebody was like, "Yeah, man, it's flames. It's hot as hell."
Scorching your soul.
Yeah. So you go there, it's just a sauna. They got drinks. They got like it's wine. They got like hors d'oeuvres and shit. It's good conversation. You could talk
You
to.
can't die, so you can get as drunk as you want.
You can get fucked up. Like whatever your vice is, they've got like just bowls of it. Just bowls of whatever your vice is.
Vice.
And you're just there. You're there with like Malcolm X. You talk with Malcolm X and Billie Holiday. I don't know if Billie Holiday's in hell, but it's good music on at all times.
Just because she was in his song, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so Billie Holiday's playing on the stage. You getting drunk. It's good company there. So I feel like you could turn it into a good situation. I feel like
Perspective, man.
Perspective. Perspective. Yes. All right. To take a less morbid turn than systematic oppression and going to hell in the afterlife. A question for you that was asked: in what ways has Arian worked on his blackness today?
Oh man, no, I forget his Twitter handle, but like it's like Tony G X or something like that. This dude has retweeted that tweet every day for like 3 years. Like I'm just in awe of the consistency, man. Like I got off Twitter for like 7 months and I came back and that's the first tweet I see. I'm like, this is hilarious. Man, I don't know, where did that come from, man? Oh, that's what it was. It was like
you had tweeted it, didn't you?
Yeah, I tweeted it, but it was on some it was satire because I disagree with some dude got fired from ESPN for saying something about RG3.
Oh yeah, the cornball brother shit. Yeah.
He said he's not. He said something about blackness, and I was like, "What the hell is blackness, dog?" I was like, "This doesn't make any sense." Like, I was just kind of going in on Buddy, and I was like, "Whatever, man. I'm gonna work on my blackness today." And that tweet took on a life of its own, man.
So on this day, what have you done to improve your blackness?
Let's see here. So we bought some steaks. We're about to put them on the grill.
True.
Saturday barbecue, man.
That's pretty black.
That's pretty black. It's hard to be super black in the suburbs, man.
True.
I'm being 100% honest, man. I catch me doing stuff every like you know how like it's normal like growing up just to go sit outside on the porch and just congregate out there.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in the suburbs like that, man.
I would say I imagine that's frowned upon.
Yeah, I miss that though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I miss the congregation on the porch, man.
I think you should do it today.
I might take my grill on the porch.
I think you should play some dominoes, like just.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna tweet a picture of it for you, man.
Please do. We'll throw it up with the show. Just Arian's blackness today, because it's Black History Month runneth over, so it's Black History Year. So if you want to,
Black History Year.
Yeah, Black History Year. If a nigga want to play dominoes on his porch, grilling his steaks, throw your do-rag on, do whatever it is you need to do.
I did do that lately. So like I used to get on my pops because you know the OGs they wear the do-rags with the cape out.
Absolutely.
I always tucked it in. It was our generation's thing. But like I started to wear it with the cape out probably about 2-3 weeks back.
Oh man,
it's a freeing thing.
I was gonna say, tell me how your life has improved.
I tell you, it's been a freeing process, man.
It's It's like plus 10 awareness. It's like video game attributes. The cape out is like plus 10.
I thought you was gonna get negative points for it, but it adds to your ethos. It really does.
See, I've got to do it right now, but the cape is tucked. I feel like maybe I should untuck it.
Just let it go for like 20 minutes, man, and you gonna start tweeting gold.
You tweet just life quality just improved tenfold.
Everything.
That's love.
You age in the soul when your cape is up.
Yeah, it might be the move. That's the new wave. All right, and the last question is: what is more terrifying for Arian, getting Jordan cry face memed or blocking an untouched Khalil Mack?
Huh. I'm gonna be scared of either one, honestly.
You're not scared of the Jordan face?
I'm scared. I know the internet is full of jokes, man, and they be so fast with it.
That's the thing.
It was me.
Have you been Jordan faced? Like, to your knowledge, have you been Jordan faced?
Nah. All my drama happened before the Jordan face got really cracked.
Dude, that's a blessing though. That's
It was, man. I'd probably have it as my profile now if it did happen.
See that somebody listening to this now, they're gonna hit you with it.
Oh, I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it in the middle. I mean, in the mentions. I probably have to say that getting Jordan face, man, because I probably won't see it though. Because if anything like happens to me, I usually stay off social media for a good like 3-4 months.
Smart.
I know the nonsense comes.
Yeah, that's it. Like, if I ever get caught in anything, I'll just delete it. Like, I'm not gonna give y'all the satisfaction. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, You're gonna catch me getting emotional on Twitter, man.
Yeah, I got too much pride.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think the Jordan face mean, because that means I took a hit somehow, some way. I took an L in life, man. So
That, like, what I love and hate so much, like, it's so detailed now. Like, it wouldn't just be like crying Jordan, like on your body. It would be like your beard on crying Jordan. Like, it's so detailed.
like I got a mole. They probably put the mole.
They would throw the mole on there, the haircut, tattoo, gold chain, anything, and just these tears just weeping like canola oil, like Jordan.
I don't know, man. That's a love-hate thing with that Jordan face thing. Because like I said, remember I told you, like, talking shit about entertainers is like funny until you know one. You know what I'm saying? So it's like some of the Jordan face means like I got Noah Cat or something like that. It's like, come on, man.
Have you ever met Jordan?
I have not met Jordan, man.
It's probably for the best, man. After these stories you hear, it might be for the best.
Yeah, I heard, man. You're never going to meet your heroes, man.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But I have low expectations as far as like him being like, because I think a lot of people, the problem with people meeting celebrities is like they read up about celebrities and they think they know the celebrity, right?
Right.
And so like when you go up to them, it's like, I've been looking at you for 15 years, but you're a stranger to Michael Jordan.
Right.
He's never seen you before in his life.
Right. He has no idea you exist.
Yeah, no clue. And like, so when you run up on him in a certain way, he kind of looks at you like, yo, like, hold on, like, I don't know you. Because like some people try to attack celebrities. Some people are paparazzi. Some people, like, somebody always wants something from you. So it's like, I get the disdain for looking at the average citizen who runs up on a celebrity. I understand why. And so I got low expectations. Like, I don't feel Jordan knows who I am. So like, if I was to meet him, I would just tell him, I'm a big fan, man, and keep it pushing.
And
I wouldn't expect a dialogue. I wouldn't expect a, hey, thanks for being it. Nah, like, I don't expect that because that's Michael Jordan. So it's like, he'll probably, maybe I get some eye contact. That would be cool enough for me, honestly.
Yeah. See, I feel like that's where, like, you just like, hey man, big fan, keep, like, as soon as he like opened his mouth, you just put your fingers in your, like, don't say anything to ruin this moment right now. Yeah, you just put like the shit in the movies. You just put like your finger on his lip. No, Michael. We don't want to ruin this moment.
Let's keep it here.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk this way. You gonna walk that way, and I'm gonna tell people pleasant things about you, and that's that.
That's funny, man.
That's how it's got to be, though.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think. Oh yeah. I don't think I would want to meet Michael Jordan.
That yeah.
Because it's not gonna be anything like I expect. Like, cause like what I walk on him, if I walk up on him, like I have all of his highlights running through my head. Like, just his legend is just like a movie in my head, and then like it's gonna be like a brief how you doing? And then it's over. And so it's like, I don't even want to go through that anxiety, man. Like, because like, there's like 3 people in this world where I'll be probably a little starstruck.
Who?
And one is Jordan, Jay-Z, and Jim Carrey. Yeah. And if I meet any of them, I'll probably be like a little bit of a fan, man.
Yeah. Mine probably be like Jordan, Jay-Z, Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey.
Yeah, and like Lacey Duvall, like somebody like random as hell, like a porn star or something.
I was like, who the hell is Lacey?
Yeah, you ain't got to play dumb, man. It's all good.
Hold on, you know who that is?
Lacey Duvall?
No, I was talking about my girl sitting here listening to the conversation.
Does she know?
Nah, she didn't know. She's just laughing at the porn star.
Yeah, that's probably for the best. I'd just be like the same way you said like Jordan highlights running through your head. I'm running through Lacey Duvall's highlights. Like, man, I remember when you scored 38 in the finals. You had the flu. It was great.
I got the soundtrack of your best scene.
I got your rookie card.
You're a fool, man. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I feel like talking about Lacey Duvall's rookie card is a good place to go out.
I think you can't end it any better than that.
My man Arian Foster, thank you for joining me, sir.
Appreciate you having me, man.
All right, and with that said, that brings show number 74 to a conclusion. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for rocking with me these first 74 shows. I want to thank my man Arian Foster for joining me. You know where to find the show by now. If you go to SoundCloud, Stitcher, as well as iTunes, search for Trill Withers, the show will come up. Do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe there so that the show will come to you every week. If you listen to it on iTunes, do me a favor, when you search for it, click ratings and reviews, drop me a 5-star review, a couple words with how you feel about the show. Got the email address for any questions, comments, concerns, testimonials, anything like that. That's trillwitherspodcast@gmail.com. Again, trillwitherspodcast@gmail.com. Also got the website, that's lookingupfromthefloor.wordpress.com. Again, lookingupfromthefloor.wordpress.com. As always, guys, thanks so much for the support and stay righteous.